welcome back to my channel. It has been a bit between knee replacement, infection in it. We went to Mexico. I got COVID.
Holidays.
Santa, like we were surviving, as you can tell from the circles under the eyes that are still continuing.
Just the one. Apparently this one's okay. This one's, I don't know what it's doing.
My name's Amy, and I decided just to include tech support today.
My name's Curran, and I go by Rin, if that's easier for all of you. But yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty interesting episode. We kind of started, just give you a little sneak peek, we started watching things yesterday. She did anyway, and Amy said,
so
come check this out.
I was already watching this video, and I was just like, what is even happening right now? And then he came up, we talked for a second, and then I was like, hey, I'm watching this video. You should probably check this out. So I started playing the video that we're going to react to. And he was like, I got to do this with you because this is bonkers.
I'm telling you right now, the things that you're going to hear, you're going to stand back and go, did she really just say that?
It's nuts.
Because we're going to be reacting to it and we're going to be like,
she just said that.
Wow.
This is a coach. Well, before we get too far into it, make sure, comment, like, subscribe, all the things. I was a Beachbody coach. I was a diamond coach for a few years. And it took my husband creating a spreadsheet to show me all of the money that I was losing and the time I was taking to make me open my eyes. And I still didn't open them completely. I did go to another MLM. He continued the spreadsheet and finally got me to pay attention.
Well, what's comical about the spreadsheet is the continuous downline. Like,
he included graphs in the spreadsheet.
It continued to trend downward to a point where we got into negative monies.
So
no monies.
As our daughter would say, I broke, no monies.
That's right. So I was using a phrase from her, no money. So it went completely down under the zero threshold to the point where we were losing money.
I was paying, prove it, to sell for them.
Well, and you were paying.
And I was paying Beachbody as well.
Beachbody or Body, yeah.
So, it's fine. It's probably fine. But lessons were learned, and now we're sharing. But as we watched this call yesterday, I was trying to figure out how I would have been responding if I had been on this call. And I want to say that I really hope that I would have seen how awful this was and how toxic this was, but I probably wouldn't. And I probably would be like, she is so right. And I need to do more and I need to do better. And I think that's where the harm comes in, is because I can see where the manipulation's coming in and how I would have bought in. So with that, we are going to be watching a Zoom training. I believe at some point she says there's over 700 people on this Zoom. And it's pretty toxic. She is one of the top-ish coaches. She's never been in top 10, but she did win the CEO award last year at Summit. She has been a coach forever. She's one of the OGs. And this is Miss Julie Voris. So we're going to share the screen.
I didn't really get a chance to look at her to see.
Do you like this layout? We'll do this layout.
Well, it's interesting because she seems put together, but you're going to quickly discover she's very confident in herself. That's the easiest way to say it. That's a good point. She does seem confident.
Overly so.
To the point of degrading. She at one point, I know we're skipping ahead just a little bit, but at one point she even calls
someone out.
Yeah. And Amy and I just sat back and went, did she really just call that person out in front of 700 people?
I would be crying. I would feel so bad and so guilty. So anyway, all right. Yeah. Let's go. Whenever you want me to stop, I don't know.
We'll just.
All right.
Well, let's just.
It is starting 6 minutes into it. It has just been music up to this point. And if you are anyone that knows who Julie is, of course, it was Disney music. So I had to cut that off. No talking has been done until right now.
Play Squad, how you doing? How you feeling? How we doing tonight? You know there's only one right answer to that question, right? On a scale of 1 to 10. The only answer is 10 because you are alive and you are on this call and you have this amazing opportunity right here in your life. So
okay, like we're starting out strong. Here's the thing. Sometimes you're not a 10 and that's okay. Like this is what we call toxic positivity, that because you are alive and breathing that you should be perfectly happy. That's not true.
I think though what she's trying to do, I mean, and I'm not, you will notice that this is not how I'm going to cover everything that she says, but I do think she's trying to bring some of that with her because she knows the people on the call could use a little bit of some uplifting. And so
how would it be better though?
I don't know. Like,
but maybe to say, you know, you guys, it's been rough and I'm not sure what's going on in each of your lives, but you're here and that needs to be celebrated. And that needs,
I like that versus what she said.
Like, you don't have a choice. You have to be a 10. No, I don't. I don't have to be a 10. That, like, because I might not be.
But I can be celebrated that I'm here.
But I did show up and that's good.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Okay.
Only one right answer, and it's a 10. I think I've got everyone muted. Listen. We've been doing Zoom since 2020, so I need you to help me. That if we have someone who's not muted, let's help them out and let's remind them that they need to be muted. Also, if you're multitasking, you're doing something else, totally understandable. We're on different time zones. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Just turn your video off because sometimes that multitasking can be a little bit distracting. Now you'll notice.
Okay, wait. I do have her on 1.5. I think I have her on a higher. I have 1.25 speed. Is that okay, or do you want me to slow her down?
I would slow her down because I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I played the song Let It Go to get us started. Why? Because for the last couple of years, we've been through it. There's been challenges, and we don't need to rehash it in the comments. No one's going to win an award for the most challenging 2 years, okay? We've all been through it. It's been hard. There's been a lot of hurt. We've all dealt with a lot of hurt, massive hurt, massive challenges. I hope you've also experienced a lot of healing and a lot of joy in the past couple of years. And here we are, kicking off 2023. And I want you to go into this call, into this week, into this month, into this year, taking what served you from the past couple of years and letting the rest of it go. Just let the rest of it go. Because the lighter you can travel into 2023, the further we can go. So take what served you. We don't have to let all of it go, but we don't need to take the baggage that's no longer serving us. We've got a fresh new year. And listen, you don't need a new year to shed and to heal and to let go. But we have one here. So we might as well take advantage of it, right? It is a new year in front of us. So the lighter we are, the further we'll go. Let's let the stuff go that no longer serves us. Is that a deal? Do we have a deal? If we have a deal, put deal in the comments for me. I need to know you're here. This is a reciprocal, interactive situation here, all right? If I wanted to just like talk to myself, I would.
All right, so she just mentioned that this is a reciprocal conversation that she's having, that she wants participation. You will hear, however, that further into the conversation, that is not what she wants. And she clearly stipulates that throughout and even calls someone out because she invited them to reciprocate. But it's confusing the way that she has led this whole conversation. And
it's interesting. So she's going to go into her background, but she's actually a teacher. So she was a teacher, I should say. So it's interesting to see the dynamic, and she would not have been my favorite teacher.
Call one of my children, all right, and just talk to myself, right? Like we know that, so we're reciprocal here. We're reciprocal. Or I would go out and talk to my husband, which would be also sometimes like talking to myself. Like you feel me on that, right? So let's start with a little bit of celebration first, and that is for each of you to take your hand.
Okay, it is really interesting, and it's funny doing this, sitting next to him. It is amazing how many of them put their husbands down.
All the time.
All the time. So Melanie Metro always talks about how Matt was a hater and Matt hated the business and doubted her and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Another one puts her husband down by just casually mentioning that he failed the lie detector test to become a police officer. Like, why are you doing that? Why downplay or like minimize the contribution or your spouse? I don't get it. It's not a good look.
High five, and I want you to just high five the camera and high five somebody else and high five yourself, because you being here right now is such a massive statement to the universe about the kind of business that you want to build and the kind of person that you want to become. This call is available to a lot of people, y'all. It's available to a lot of people. A lot of people could be on this call, but not a lot of people on this call. You're on this call, which means you've just made a big statement to the universe, what you want to do and who you want to be. That's pretty big, not just in your business, but in who you are. So celebrate that first and foremost. Secondly, we are here, all of us, because a group of superstar leaders came together, linked arms, and formed a really powerful collective and said, we are much more powerful together than we all are scattered about doing separate team calls. We're so much more powerful when we are together. And had those superstar leaders not come together, we wouldn't be here right now in this powerful force. So here's a fun fact for you. Leaders need love too. So right now, I want you to acknowledge your superstar diamond leader. Without them, you wouldn't be on this call right now. You wouldn't have this incredible year ahead of you of calls. Acknowledge them in the comments right now. A quick little shout out to your superstar diamond leader, letting them know how much you appreciate being here, because leaders need love too, y'all.
Okay, so this is already, it's really interesting within Beachbody because the top coaches are celebrities. Like I've heard of people having interactions with Julie, or I remember having interactions with Tanya or with Danielle Natoni or some of the other head coaches. They are celebrities. And this is further driving that home. Like, you owe your leader the ability to join my Zoom. So you're in debt to your leader. The reason that I find that message damaging is because when your leader then reaches out to you because they are struggling to hit a rank or they need you to purchase something, you feel that.
You feel obligated.
You feel obligated because they have given so much to you. But you don't get recognized for the volume that you bring in. That is what made them an elite coach or made them a top 10.
Unless you become an elite coach in the top 10.
And then you can treat your team just as poorly.
Oh, is that how it works?
That's how it works.
Okay.
Yeah. Stick with me. I'll tell you.
Right.
Forget it. The leadership is hard. Many of you are finding that out. It is hard. Give your leader some love. Let them know how appreciative you are to be here, because the calls this year, you're not even ready. Okay. You're not even ready for what's happening this year. And were it not for these superstar diamond leaders coming together, linking arms, understanding the rising tides lift all ships. Y'all, the competition and the drama, that's part of what we're letting go and leaving in 2022. Okay? Can we have an amen? Can I get an amen on what day is it? Who even knows? What is today? Tuesday? No one knows what day it is. Can I get an amen on a Tuesday? The competition, the drama, we're leaving in 2022. The collective power of rising tides lifting all ships coming together in 2023. And you are a part of that. How amazing is that? Such a statement on where we want to go and who we want to be. Okay, so speaking of who we want to be, perhaps I should introduce myself. Okay, so I'm going to do that now, if that's cool with you. Here I am, and I'm going to put my chat and my picture and everything kind of up at the top. I'll keep my chat open so that I can see you, because I love to see the chat. I love to see it. Okay, so I'm going to close that a little bit. There we go. Hi. It's so nice to see all of you. Here I am. Here we are. And this is me. My name is Julie Voris, and I am married to a former football coach, and I'm a mom to 3 amazing daughters. I have been a coach for 14 and a half years. What is that even? Like, who even said that out loud? 14 and a half years I have been a coach. And let me just tell you, that for those of you that are like, I don't know what I'm doing in this coaching business, anyone feel that way ever? Like just ever in their coaching career? Anyone, just tell me in the comments. Yeah, yes, I do. Anyone ever feel like I have no idea what I'm doing? Like just raise your hand and tell me in the comments, because y'all, I feel like that. I felt like that when I began as a coach. I feel like that so often. That is called being a human being on this planet. Okay? It's not just being a coach, it's being a human being on this planet. We're all trying to figure all this out. But listen to me right now. That story that we tell ourselves about how we don't know anything and we don't know what to do, we need to shift that a little bit. Because how many of you on this call or on the replay are parents? How many of you are parents? Or how many of you have done a job that you didn't know anything about before? I mean, parenting is the biggest example, I think, because we bring actual live human beings into the world. And I don't know about you, but I knew nothing about that when I became a parent. I knew nothing about it when I became a parent again, or when I became a parent again. Most of the time, I still don't know anything about it, and yet I figured it out. So if you don't really know sometimes what you're doing as a coach, welcome to just being a human being on the planet. You're good. You're in the right place. What a beautiful gift it is then for you. In this Play Squad collaborative, in this collective force of powerful teams, that you get to be in a place where we're going to shorten your learning curve. How cool is that? So I've been doing this 14.5 years. I'm still figuring it out every single day. What a blessing that is. I feel like if I get to a place where I feel like I know everything, I should probably stop. So just so you know, I'm never going to get there. I am on a mission to help people.
Okay, so she just used, and we were told she used this all the time, felt, feel, found. Or is it feel, felt, found? Feel, felt, found. I understand how you are feeling. I understand how overwhelmed you are. And I felt that same way. What I've come to realize is this. And so you're answering and you're trying to build some of that. And that's how you're building your credibility.
Because you're showing empathy.
Right.
Through understanding what the other person has shared with you, mm-hmm. and giving them an example of like feeling like
correct
situation, and now that's built trust and credibility, mm-hmm. because they can relate
yes
to you, mm-hmm. as a coach,
and using something very relatable. I mean, right. I remember that as first-time parents, we were like, you're going to let us take this home? Like, what am I supposed to do with this little human? Because you don't know. Is that the same as becoming a Beachbody coach? I don't know that I would equate those two things together, but whatever. Like, it's a little different to me, but maybe not.
She uses this term later in the call, you know, make sure it can make you pee your pants. Bringing a kid home, I'm just going to say this, it made us pee our pants. Like, we were like, what are we doing with this little bundle of joy?
Who also screams all night. Like, what the heck? Mm-hmm. I mean, and she's right. We felt that way with 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, but I don't agree that it equates to being a coach.
No.
I think that's
a false equivalency.
Yeah.
With their habits to their goals and their dreams. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Can it be habits to goals and dreams, so that you can create your life on purpose with purpose? With this business being the catalyst for that. I was a high school English teacher. Any teachers in the house? Let me know in the comments. Any teachers in the house? I was a high school English teacher. I don't know about you, but I did not go to college thinking I was going to be an online entrepreneur. I was a high school English teacher. I fell into fitness. I became a master trainer. I turned entrepreneur. Again, 0 business experience.
Okay, I want to make sure and point out here, though, how we're stopping this a lot. We may have to split this video into 2. We'll see. Yeah. But she was a master trainer. She was one that came over from Shalene Johnson's team from Powder Blue Productions. Why is that important? Well, because when she came over to Beachbody, and this was like fairly close to the beginning of the network marketing side of it, she had built-in credibility because she was a fitness expert. And all of the people that she had trained to teach the format, so Turbo Kick, Pio, and Hip Hop Hustle, those people would then follow her into this. So she had a built-in network and built-in credibility, and had the unique opportunity of, it wasn't super well known. Most people knew P90X, most people knew Insanity, but they didn't understand Beachbody, nor did they understand that it was an MLM opportunity. So that in and of itself made it easier, in my opinion, to be more successful 14 years ago, because there wasn't the stigma that there is now on MLMs and Beachbody in particular, and diet culture in particular, and the level of knowledge just wasn't there.
I think that's a good call out.
So, I think that I wanted to point that out with being a master fitness instructor. You will find a lot of the top coaches came from a super trainer, whether it was Shalene or Tony or Autumn or Sean, like Sean T. They came from those, and that gives them credibility.
And I am continuing to build a life-changing business, literally life-changing business from the ground up. I was on MySpace when I started, okay? So do not come at me with, I only have 100 Instagram followers. Instagram wasn't even invented when I became a coach. So knock it off. I was on MySpace. And here's the thing. I'm not that smart. I'm not that tech savvy. I'm not that creative. What I am is consistent. And anyone can be that. So if I can build this business, you can too. Remember.
That's
okay. So real quick, notice the transition of her demeanor and her communication style to this group. She went from being overjoyous, overzealous, very complimentary, very appealing, and having that desire to have all of these individuals join her. Now, for the rest of this, I want to call out that this will be her demeanor for the rest of the call.
She's like just flips a switch.
She and this is where she did
and this is where she did it. She may, and no, there may be a few different places in there where she does throw some more empathy in, which is part of the mind control, and it's part of the games that they play. Because if everyone always talked down to you, you would not do it.
Right.
And so they play these mind games of, I totally get you and I totally understand you too. Stop your complaining.
Knock it off.
Knock it off. You're whining. I did this. You can do this. Stop it.
Yeah. And the verbiage is harsh.
Mm-hmm. And you cannot compare what she did 14 years ago to what she's doing now.
Okay.
What you're doing.
Let's let them.
Do you have water?
Any coach that you see in this business from this point on, creating success, that's just a sign to you that you can do. So we're going to knock off the stories that we tell ourselves that we're not qualified, women, I'm talking to you, and that we can't do it because, for heaven's sake, if I can do it, you can do it. Cool? Are we cool? Cool? We're on the same page. Everybody good? Everybody good? All right. Barb says we're cool. Barb says we're cool. Brenda says we're cool. All right. We're going to keep moving. Let's talk about, y'all, like, don't even, come on now. Listen. Oh, we're going to go that way. Okay. Let's talk about the product focus of the month. So again, in this collective that we have, these amazing coaches who have come together, these superstar diamond leader coaches who have come together, we were thinking about how can we help our coaches streamline their focus, simplify their focus, increase volume. Because here's the deal. Hold on. I got to stop my share and look you in the eyeball. Listen to me right now. How many of you have, at some point in your life, been on the socials and someone has shared something and you bought it? Yes or no in the comments. I swear to you, if all 704 of you don't say yes, you are lying and you know it. You are lying and you know it. Or we're on social, maybe you were live and in person, whatever that is, and someone recommended something to you and you bought it. Okay, now imagine if an entire network comes together and focuses amongst all the amazing products and programs that we have, but we focus.
Okay, this is another false equivalency. So that would be me telling you about a product, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they say this all the time. Well, you sell Starbucks or you promote this or this. You're right. A lot of us do say like, oh my gosh, I loved this. You should get it. And should we be paid for that? I don't have a problem with affiliate links and someone getting paid. What I do have a problem with is saying, hey, you should purchase this. And then you need to get this person to purchase this. So it's not that like the affiliate, it's the recruiting.
And you can't ask that person to purchase until you've purchased, because
Correct.
you don't want to be a hypocrite.
Correct. And you are fighting against that person to get other people. It doesn't make sense.
Highly on one product that we know will serve people, especially this time of year. And what if we increase the volume and the knowledge around that product? Do you know what happens? The impact that product can make increases. And do you know what happens when your volume increases because your impact is increasing? Do you know what happens? Your income goes up. Isn't that the most beautiful thing in the world? That you actually get to make money by making a difference. You get to make money by making a difference. So we thought, well, how can we help our coaches simplify this business? And we thought, well, how about this idea of a product focus of the month? And we chose for January, Power Greens. So this is just a talking point, one page. You probably all have access to this somewhere in your team pages, as well as the Instagram stories. But even if you don't.
Okay, so you can't see it very well, and that's why I got really close. Okay, volume breakdown. Do you remember how the cycle bonuses would work?
No.
Okay, so you have to be an Emerald coach in order to get a cycle bonus, okay? And a cycle bonus, you've got 2 legs. You've got a strong leg and a weak leg.
Okay.
And in your strong leg, you have to have 200 volume points. And in your weak leg, you have to have 100 volume points in order to cycle.
Okay.
Okay, so every 200, 100. If you were an Emerald coach, that's $14 per cycle. Okay. But also, if you're an Emerald coach, you don't have very many people underneath you. You don't have that high of volume, right? You're still frantically trying to build. These power greens that they're trying to get you to purchase, the PV on them, the volume is 24.
Okay.
That's a very low volume cycle, right? And so I would have to sell roughly 9 of them on one side and 4 to 5 on the other side to get $14 in a cycle bonus.
To get the 200 and the 100.
Correct.
Interesting.
So as a coach, that's not that impactful. As Julie, if you have all of these people underneath you doing that, look at the volume going through her and how many times she's cycling. She's cycling a ridiculous amount because of all of the people underneath her selling power greens. Looking at it as a low level coach, which I consider anyone diamond. If you are not at least a 1 to 2 star diamond, you're lower ranks, in my opinion. You are purchasing Shakeology because you have to have Shakeology. This is a Shakeology boost. This is to put in your Shakeology. So now this month, you want me to purchase Shakeology, Energize, probably Recover, because we're now lifting weights and we need Recover. And now you want me to purchase Power Greens as well.
Yeah.
That's a lot to purchase because I don't know about you guys, but I am not okay with promoting something that I wouldn't actually use, and I wouldn't know until I tried it. So I would feel obligated to purchase Power Greens. And that will be true, in my opinion, for many of the coaches down below. And so who are they really trying to get to purchase the Power Greens? In my opinion, would be the coaches. It's not going out and finding a customer. Because if I had a customer and I went to them and said, okay, these Power Greens are $34.95 for 20 servings. And then I happened to look up and Actually, a better product, in my opinion, is currently on sale at Walgreens, $14.99 for 24 servings. Like, there's nothing special in this Power Greens that makes it worth that much money.
No, and we looked at the Walgreens version and noticed the difference in ingredients between Power Greens and what this product was showcasing. And it was a night and day difference of not only value to portion, but also nutrients to portion and what you're getting for the money compared to what you're paying for Power Greens.
It's crazy. It's crazy, the difference. So, but again, you would feel obligated to purchase this one instead of going to Walgreens.
Absolutely.
If Power Greens was super important to you.
Yep.
Even if you don't, which I'm sure you do, but even if you don't, even if you've never seen this before, you are a grown-up human being with access to a Coach Online office that can go back in there and Google Power Greens and figure out what you might want to say about it. Here's another really awesome idea. If you don't use Power Greens right now, could you purchase some this month and contribute to the volume? Can you get your coach to purchase them this month and contribute to the volume? And now all of us are trying this one amazing product, focusing on this one amazing product.
Okay. She's selling to the coaches.
Yep.
Because she knows that if she can help them see the vision of what she wants them to see for themselves, it only pads her pocket.
Absolutely.
So she's selling to them, knowing full well that it's going to increase her own volume and her own cycle.
Yep.
And that's what is disturbing to me about this is she's not doing it to help them in their business. She's doing it to help her own business.
And knowing full well that many of these people really can't even afford to purchase it because they're not getting the volume. They're not getting the things that she has been because they are so far down on that ladder.
Yep.
After the 14, after her 14 years or whatever.
But can you imagine if she even gets a third to even half of the 700 people on here to purchase?
Now, here's the interesting part. Okay, so there's 700 people. There's this slay squad, okay?
Yep.
Not everyone on this call is going to fall under her. Some of them may be under a different superstar diamond. Here's the interesting thing, though, is from my understanding, one of the people who created the slay squad is Lindsay Matway. And Lindsay's like at the very top. So like all of these people fall under her. And so she is benefiting by convincing her superstar diamonds to do this. And they're convincing and it shows you that the coaches are the number one customer.
Mm-hmm.
We're increasing the ripple effect. We're increasing the volume. Yes, but we're increasing the impact that this little canister can make in someone's life. I don't know about you, but I know I don't get all the greens in that I need every day. This baby goes in my shake every single day. Every single day. So that is our product focus of the month. Any deeper questions on that, please talk to your upline coach. And I know that before the end of the year, we had an amazing call led by Christina Delgado and Aaron Hopkins and Moira Cruzada and Holly Hillier. And I know I'm forgetting someone, so I shouldn't have even started naming names. Talking about the Road to Legacy, which is a coach-led recognition program. Because we had an entire call on that, I'm not going to touch on that right now. Just go back to that call, go back to your upline coach, talk about that with them. We're not going to get into it right now. Cool. Are we cool on Power Greens product focus of the month? Start thinking about how you can share it. If you don't use it, then Thursday would be a great day to go purchase yourself some. Also, if you hear something in the background, that's why I wear my headphones because I would try to keep it quiet. If you hear something in the background, those would be the fireworks from the Magic Kingdom. So you can that's a little gift that I'm giving you if you happen to hear it. Okay, let's get into the meat of it. I hope you have a notebook. I hope you have something to take notes on because we are going to get into this right now. This is the number one question that I get. And I would bet, raise your hand, or when I say raise your hand, I really mean type it in the comments. Raise your hand in the comments if any of you have heard this before. Like, how do you stay motivated all the time? How do you stay on track all the time? How do you stay? Have any of you heard that before? Because I've heard that for a very long time. And it occurred to me a few years ago that consistency really is my superpower. As I said, I don't have a business degree. I'm not the smartest person. I'm not the most tech savvy person. I'm not the most creative person. But what I am is super consistent. I get that from my dad. My dad was in the Navy for my dad was in the Navy for 40 years. He was also a civil engineer. And I get that ability to be consistent from him and to show up even when it's inconvenient. And I started to figure out that it really has nothing to do with motivation. Even though that's the question that I get, that you get this question all the time. People come to you and go, how do you stay so motivated? How do you get up in the morning? How do you have so much energy? And you're like, well, it's energized. But don't you know that? You should get some. You get that question all the time too. And as I started to dig into that and realize I was getting it all the time, it occurred to me, it has nothing to do with motivation. Consistency to me, building this business to me, changing my life to me has nothing to do with motivation. I have habits. I have habits. You do too. Sometimes we get a little sideways, right? Sometimes we get a little sideways. I'm not inspired, but I am consistent. I'm betting you are too. I'm not lucky, contrary to what some members of my family might say. So don't come at me with, I don't have family support. Contrary to what some members of my family might say, I am not lucky. Neither are you. We are just willing. And when you combine habits and consistency and willingness, all the stuff that takes on talent, you can literally change your life. Because habits and consistency and being willing take no talent. So what we're going to talk about tonight is taking those habits and transferring them into your business so that maybe you don't get a little sideways, or if you do, we can get back on track. Because how many of you, like if you're anything like me, hold on, let me stop my shot, I'll look you in the eyeball again. I mean, do you say out loud, I want to build this business. I want to be an elite team. I want to earn 6 figures, 7 figures, whatever it is. Do you say that? Do you feel that? Do you say that in your head and out loud? I know that you say that. I want to build this business. And yet, sometimes we get a little sideways, right? Like we get distracted by social media. We get sucked into Netflix. We get off course in conversations with family members. We get off course in the holidays. We get a little sideways. So we've got to make ourselves a deal here that our habits have to be connected to something bigger. And we're going to stop, take a breath, and remember what they're connected to. That's what we're going to talk about tonight, because we can get a little sideways. It's not that you're lazy or that you don't have the talent or the ability to find out what you need. It's that you get a little sideways and you're not connecting your habits to your goals and dreams.
This is really interesting to me. And a lot of it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can totally buy into this, right? Like I can see where she's talking a lot about habits and consistency and how some of those things are really important. The interesting thing to me, though, is she's talking about habits, consistency, and willingness take no talent. And that's what we're going to teach you. They're not. They're teaching these big vision things. And what do you want in your life? Very, very rarely do you really get any business training on this is how you run a business. When it comes to the nuts and bolts, they don't give it. Every call is like this rah, do all these things, be all these things, and you're amazing. And then at the end of the day, you're still like, wait, how do I do this? I still don't know what I'm doing.
And it's because they don't have it themselves.
Yeah.
They didn't get that business training. And what they were told was compensate, right? By telling people that you don't have any business and use that rah in order to bring people along with you under the false notion that they're going to make money.
Mm-hmm. Well, because that was always my thing. It's, I did it and you can too. Okay, what did you do?
Yes.
What did you do?
And they can't tell you.
No.
They don't know. They don't know what they did.
And I disagree with it when she says it's not luck. Many of these top coaches, the reason that they are so so successful is because they went viral in some way, which does have somewhat to do with luck and timing.
A lot of the things that they're teaching and preaching are outside of the individual's control.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not someone purchases Power Greens or Shakeology or any of the products that are currently on the market through Bodi, it's anyone's guess on whether or not this person is going to purchase and if they're going to feel compelled to do so in hopefully a good way, even though there will probably be some manipulation tactics along the way.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Not connecting your habits to your goals and dreams. If you need a book recommendation, it's Ride of a Lifetime by Bob Iger. This book came out in September of 2019. Ride of a Lifetime is my most read, recommended, and gifted book to this day. You want a leadership book? Ride of a Lifetime by Bob Iger. So over the past 20 years, really specifically probably in the last 5, even more so, I've developed this mindset around taking motivation, inspiration, and feeling like it off the table. Y'all, I need a pencil because if I hear one more person, and I'm really talking to the women right now, tell me I'm not sure I feel like working out. I just don't know if I feel like it. I don't know if I feel like working out. I don't know if I feel like sending my invites. I'm going to take this pencil and drive it through my eyeball. Knock it off. Nobody cares if you feel like it. Do you feel like creating your life on purpose with purpose? Do you feel like reaching your goals and your dreams? Do you feel like being able to say yes to your family and not have to worry about money? Then you better stop worrying about feeling like it and replace it with habits to create your life on purpose with purpose, using this business as the fuel for your life change. I love you, but I don't care if you feel like it.
He's like, you've got to pause it. I'm like, nope, I just need one more sentence. I need one more sentence. What do you think?
I don't even know if I have the words to describe how destructive her communication is right now. Because, okay, I am a man who feels. I know there's a lot of guys that will say they don't have feelings or say that,
they're just strictly logical.
Excuse me. Yes, that they're, that feeling that level of feelings is beyond them or this or that or whatever. No, it's not. No, it's not. I mean, we all have feelings, and whether we decide to express those feelings is a choice. First and foremost, I want to share that it is a choice, and
and you choose to share.
And you choose to share. For someone of her caliber to tell me or my wife or anyone for that matter, especially when she leaned into the camera and said, I'm addressing the women, to tell them that they are not allowed to feel, or that feeling like it is,
that it doesn't matter. Whatever you're going through doesn't matter. And it's, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, and I'm thinking, even if I go back to my Beachbody time, okay. I started Beachbody. Our youngest was like 6 months old, maybe even less. He may have been only less than 6 months old. Still not sleeping through the night all the time. We have 4 other kids. We had moved to a different state where we didn't have any family. We made some incredible friends.
We did.
But it was a very hard time. And I had a lot of feelings. And I was exhausted. And he was exhausted. And to tell me that doesn't matter.
Or count.
Or that is so damaging. It is so damaging. And what would end up happening is I would feel this on a very deep level and I would buy into this. So when it came time for my 4:30 a.m. alarm and I had been up 3 times with the baby, I would feel guilty if I did not get up, because I shouldn't be feeling this way. I need to do my habits. I said this was important to me. I need to get out of bed. And sleep deprivation is one of the main signs of cult control.
Feelings are what the body is trying to tell you that it needs.
Mm-hmm.
And if we ignore feelings, then we're damaging ourselves, our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with our body. And what oftentimes you hear from these coaches, from not just Beachbody or Body, but other life coaches, they will tell you to push past that or to ignore it, or it doesn't matter, it doesn't count. That the habit or the thing that you're doing is, gets you to that place. Now, sometimes that may be true, and sometimes there may be some merit there, but to discredit it altogether, I take issue with that.
Very much so. And to hit with the guilt. So many of the activities that I would do around Beachbody were guilt driven.
Absolutely.
It was what was expected. I'm letting everyone down. If I'm not on my 5 a.m. workout Zoom, everyone's going to know. And so you have all of these things playing in.
There were many times when I would ask you, hey, let's do something with the kids, or let's go for a drive, or let's go here, let's go there. And you would tell me, I can't.
I have a meeting. I have a Zoom. I haven't done my invites. I haven't done whatever.
And then I would try to convince her or share the need of this, and she would guilt me. She would make me feel that it was my fault that I'm asking for such a thing to be a part of the family. And then she would tell me that I wasn't
supportive in my business
and contributing to what she needed as a person to develop. And it became rough.
It did. It was a pretty big bone of contention, because then the other thing would be there would be times that fine, I'll go. I was not plugged in. I was on my phone the entire time.
Yeah.
So it got really rough. And as the person in the middle, it destroys you. Like, you want to do things with your family. You want to make your spouse happy, but you also have this upline who is guilting you on the daily, and you just feel torn, but you're told you can't feel that.
Well, and it doesn't change even when you become an elite coach.
No, you see some of these coaches and you can see that they're miserable. They don't want to do what they're doing, and you can tell.
Yeah.
But they can't leave either.
Yeah, it's true.
What I want you to feel is that connection to your goals and your dreams. Because when you have that connection, you won't get sideways quite as often. I'm not saying you won't get sideways. I'm not going to say you're not going to get off track. I'm going to say it won't happen quite as often. It won't happen quite as often. So let's dig into it. Okay. I stuck this in the Slay Squad call, or in the Slay Squad page. If you did not have time to download it prior to now, first of all, do not lose it. You're fine. You can go download it later. You can also just draw this on your notebook paper right now, because we're going to go through each one of these pieces. Because I believe the disconnect, listen to me, I believe the disconnect happens because coaches lose sight of their big goals and their big dreams. Listen to me. Nobody.
Do you guys remember the kid? Isn't it one of the cupcake? And he's like, listen, Linda. No, you listen to me. Listen. Like, she's intense. Yikes.
Yeah.
Just getting up at 5 a.m. to hit Success Club. Do you understand me? No one's getting up at 5 a.m. to hit Success Club. No one's getting on a power hour to send invites.
Uh-huh.
There is something bigger at play here. And if there's not, those are the coaches that I need to take a step back from the business. And if that's you, that's a gut check for you. Why are you getting up at 5 a.m.?
Yikes. So if you were struggling with something right now and you need to take a step back, you better gut check, because blah, blah, blah. Like, quit air quoting me, lady.
Why are you getting on a power hour? Why are you on a call at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday night? It has to be bigger than the fact you want to hit Success Club. That's not the reason. What is the reason? Because if you are connected to that and deeply connected to that, then getting sideways will happen less often. And listen to me. You have an entire year of Slay Squad calls that are going to blow your freaking mind. The talents of the speakers and the leaders in this group is mind blowing. The smartest women that I've been around are in this Slay Squad group. Literally the smartest women that I've been around. They're so smart. They're so caring. They know this business inside and out. And you're going to get 51 weeks of incredible, tangible, practical stuff. But a script for invite.
So do you think they're really going to get tangible, technical stuff? Because
I don't. I mean, you may get something. So for example, I just found I was downstairs working out and I looked on the bookcase and I found a spiral bound book that was a Coach Empower Hour. And it was like, this is what you need to do. Those are the things that they do, is they give you like a sheet or they give you something like that. But when it comes to making connections, when it comes to finding people, like those things, no. Because if you found your coach because you resonated with them, then chances are the people that will resonate with you will also resonate with them. They don't want to give you their market.
no, they don't. They want it for themselves.
And so you're competing against each other. It's the weirdest business model when
Absolutely.
you truly look at it and think about it. You're recruiting your own competition.
Yeah.
Oh, I keep hitting the piano, which he got me for Christmas. Oh.
Or figuring out how to tally your success club points, it's not going to matter if you don't know why you're building this business in the first place. So that's why this is first, and then your mind's going to be blown with the rest of the year of Slay Squad calls that are going to tell you how to do it. But if you don't have this, if you don't even know why you're showing up tonight, then that's what you have to figure out now. Or how are you going to stay on track for the next 51 weeks? This is what you have to figure out now. There's a reason why 14 and a half years in, I'm more obsessed with what we get to do every day than I was when we started. Because I can see how big it is. It's so literally limitless that sometimes I can't even wrap my head around it. And I'm so deeply connected to my goals and my dreams that of course I'm going to show up. No one's going to tell me get up at 5 a.m. If you need someone to tell you get up at 5 a.m. to build your dream life, we got a problem. I said what I said. Let's start with this.
She says that a lot.
I said what I said. It's like when you're in junior high and you're like, just kidding.
Not kidding.
I said what I said. But the interesting thing to me there is when she said it is literally limitless. No, there is a limit. There's very much a limit. And if it was limitless, then why did the top person in 2020 make around like 3.8 million and the top person in 2021 make like 2.5? If it was limitless, shouldn't that always be going up instead of going down?
Mm-hmm.
And there's only one person at the top. Like, it's not limitless. They have a limit. Plus, you have a limit of who your pool even is. So to say it's limitless is so bizarre to me because I can't recruit someone in Brazil. I'm not going to recruit a grandma. Some of these guys, actually, I may have recruited. Did I recruit my grandma? I may have signed up my grandma. I'm not even going to lie. It's probably fine.
Dream big goals. Do not write anything in the comments. Do not write one word in the comments. I love you. Do not write one word. I'll let you know when you can. But like I said, nobody gets up at 5 a.m. to hit Success Club. That is not why you're building your business. What do you want to do with and in your life? This is why you get up in the morning. This is why you play the long game. And this is why you're a partner with Team Bodi. I need you to take a couple minutes. I'm not even going to play any music, y'all. You're just going to write because you're big people and you can write without music. And you're going to write down, honestly, I don't want any more. Really, 3 would be amazing. Like 3 to 5. dream big goals. And I'm telling you right now, if one of them is a rank goal, I will come through this screen and poke you in the eyeball. No, it's not. I need 3 to 5 big dream goals that you can wave a magic wand. If you can throw all the pixie dust, and you are working with me here right now, so you know that we can throw the pixie dust, right? Like, you already know that. So you can throw all the pixie dust, and your life would be anything you want it to be. What would it be? That's your big dream. And if your big dream doesn't make you pee your pants a little bit, it's not big enough. I'm going to give you just a couple minutes, and I want you to write them down. Not in the comments. We'll get to that.
Okay,
Write it
so
on your piece of paper.
I'm going to
Write
let
it on
it
your
play
piece of
for a
paper. Write
second.
down.
When we were watching this yesterday, I started laughing. I'm like, I've had 5 kids, and a lot of things make me pee my pants, like sneezing and blinking sometimes. But it just is so demeaning, and the way that she's talking to people. But yeah, and then in another breath, they'll tell you that you're a business owner.
Angela, not yet.
She's scary. And poor Angela, this is where I would have felt so bad and guilty, and yikes.
She just called this person by name in front of 700 people. She could have just simply said, please keep from posting your comments.
Yeah. Like, but instead it's like publicly shaming someone. Oh man. Sometimes we will call this your why that makes you cry. Because they want it to be something so deep and meaningful that then when you go to them and say, I can't do this anymore. Well, what about your family? Do you not care about your family anymore? Yeah. You said that you wanted to do da, 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 da. Does that not matter anymore?
Yeah.
That's where the manipulation comes in, is sharing some of these things. We definitely are going to have to cut this into 2 videos.
We could probably stop here and, say,
okay.
Say boy howdy to our
Did you say boy howdy?
I did.
Okay, so here, we're gonna go back here. So funny story with that. We were in the car, I don't even remember when, and we were having a conversation with our 17-year-old, and the comment that they made was, well, boy howdy does it. And we were like, how old are you? Boy howdy? Like,
who says boy howdy? Well, apparently our 17-year-old does.
Right? It was hilarious. This is such a good example of how toxic it can be, but there's enough good mixed in that sometimes you don't realize it
or recognize it.
Yeah, and you don't see the messaging that they're making. I shouldn't say making you take internally, because, and we get this all the time. Well, no one made you sign up your spouse. No one made you do this. You're right. Did anyone require me? No.
No, but you certainly influenced.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And pressured me to push that direction, even though you didn't specifically say, hey, go.
You rank advanced. You were an emerald.
That wasn't I didn't do that.
You're not going to high five me.
No, you did that. I didn't take part in that.
Oh, like
it wasn't mine.
The things that they get you to think is normal, it's not normal. It's not. This is not normal. Being talked to like this is not normal. It is not okay.
No, I'll tell you. So I work for a very large software company, and this company, we hire speakers from all around the world to come and to motivate, not really to motivate. It's mostly trainings, but it's to tell their story, and it's to showcase understanding, empathy, and a growth mindset. That's really what we're about, is a growth mindset. And these individuals, as they tell their story, help us understand from their point of view things that we may not have considered, things that may be outside of my window of view, because that's not my reality. I don't live in that space, but someone else does. And that doesn't mean that it's not a reality. It just means that these realities can come together as stories are shared, and then empathy can be created, and or sympathy, as these things are talked about and are explained, and questions then can be asked and answered through these kinds of interactions. And what is so great about the company that I work for is that we are given an opportunity to truly see someone else through their reality, through their story, and to build understanding of our own through someone else's eyes and in the shoes that they've walked, and to put ourselves possibly in that position. And
but very much feeling.
Oh, it's all
feelings.
about feeling. It is.
And that is what you should be doing, because that is what makes us uniquely human.
Yes. Yeah. Feeling is an important ingredient to growth mindset.
Yeah.
If we don't adhere to the way that we're feeling and sit in it and let it wash over us so that we can process and understand it and understand why those feelings are happening, right? And why those feelings maybe are happening to someone else, then we can't grow as individuals to come to an understanding that their reality is just as important as my reality.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So this was part 1. We will come back with part 2. Please make sure, like I mentioned earlier, like, comment, subscribe. I am going to do my best at doing more consistent content. I'm hoping that I'm not even going to say it out loud, because whenever I say things out loud, it all goes downhill. But can I just make one joke based on what you said?
Okay.
You said you like to sit in feelings. If something made you pee your pants, don't sit in it. Just saying. I'm just saying. All right.
Okay, hold on. So at least go change and then come back and sit.
And hopefully you had a leather seat, not fabric. Ooh. All right. And hopefully this year we will find more time to also record together, because this is a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. But thank you for joining us, and can't wait to see you on the next one.
Thanks for being our people.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you.
Bye, guys.